When Elaine first moved into the Hollow, she told herself the stories were just that. Stories. The realtor had been desperate, practically giving the cottage away, and besides, Elaine needed to disappear, the kind of fresh start that only a place forgotten by time could offer. The first few weeks passed quietly. Sure, the woods never stopped whispering, even on windless nights, and sometimes the old pipes moaned deep in the walls. But the rent was low, and the silence was a blessing. It wasn't until the third week that she noticed the attic door. It hung low over the narrow hallway ceiling, barely visible unless you knew where to look. A frayed rope dangled down, swaying gently even when the air was still. Elaine had no reason to open it, but one evening she found herself standing beneath it, hand reaching up before she even realized it. The ladder groaned under her weight. The attic smelled of dust, cold stone, and something faintly sweet, like rotting flowers. At the far end, hidden behind a crumbling partition, she found it. A mirror, 7 feet tall, its frame carved with symbols that twisted if she stared too long. Black vines, endless knots, open mouths. The glass itself shimmered in the half-light, and for a moment, she thought she saw something move inside it. Not a reflection, but a ripple, like something swimming just beneath the surface. Her skin prickled. She backed away. She didn't touch it. At first, over the next few days, she caught glimpses of her reflection in windows and puddles, just a little wrong. Her eyes stayed fixed a moment too long. Her smile, when it came, wasn't hers. Sometimes she caught herself speaking out loud when she hadn't meant to, muttering things in a language she didn't know. Sometimes the mirror whispered back. On the fourth night after finding it, she woke up to the attic door hanging open, the frayed rope swinging wildly. The voice was closer now, thick and urgent. Touch the glass. 3 days. Trade. Be free. Sleep-deprived and fraying at the edges, Elaine scoured the internet for answers. All she found were scattered, half-crazed warnings. Do not touch the mirror of Old Hollow. It trades skin for freedom. It can only leave if you invite it. On the third day, she tried to leave the cottage. The road twisted in on itself, turning back toward the front door no matter how far she walked. The sky hung low and red, and the trees leaned closer, listening. There was no way out. Desperate, trembling, she went back to the attic. The mirror pulsed, dark and waiting. Maybe, she whispered, maybe if I destroy it. Her reflection smiled sadly. Too late, little lamb. The glass shivered, the symbols along the frame writhing. Something heavy leaned against the inside of the mirror, pushing forward. Elaine backed away, but the attic door slammed shut behind her with a deafening bang. She was trapped. The air grew colder with every breath. Her heart pounded. Her mind screamed. She could feel herself slipping, sanity fraying like an old rope. The whisper came again, softer this time, almost kind. Touch the glass. You can go home. You can be free. Tears spilled down her face. Her hand rose. She knew it was a mistake, knew it was exactly what it wanted. But the thought of staying, of being hunted inside her own mind, was worse. Her fingertips pressed against the surface. The mirror sank beneath her touch, like skin. Something grabbed her wrist from the other side. Before she could pull away, it yanked. The attic tilted, the world snapped, and Elaine was ripped into darkness. She awoke in a place that wasn't a place. A gray, endless void filled with broken reflections of every moment she had ever lived. On the other side of the mirror's skin, her body stood, flexing fingers that were no longer hers. The thing inside smiled, adjusting her stolen skin like a new coat, and stepped into her life without a second glance. Elaine screamed, but sound didn't carry here. She pounded against invisible walls, but there was no glass anymore, no way back, only an endless waiting. And then the mirror in the attic shimmered once more. The thing wearing her face smiled wider and left the cottage. But it didn't stop there. It needed more. It hungered for more. It traveled from house to house, town to town, carrying the mirror with it, like a peddler carrying a terrible gift, setting it up in flea markets, estate sales, antique stores, waiting for someone new to peer too long, to reach out, to trade. Because the mirror's deity wasn't satisfied with just one life. It wanted a world, and it had all the time in the world to find willing hands.